right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to KnowItAllDM Entertainment. I'm KnowItAllDM. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing great. Today, I have just finished adding 2 new ARV large hover vessels, and these are your resource gathering high-end hover vessels, because you can't just use capital vessels to gather resources. Because sometimes you find resources on a planet that you want to gather, and your small SOV may not be up to the task. So I have these 2 hover vessels, the Bulette and the Mammoth. The Bulette is a recreation, or I guess upgrade. It's an update, I guess, of my old Bulette hover vessel. And as you can see, I actually loaded in the Bulette and then updated it to Alpha 11. And added it to my ARV line, adding the ARV tag to it. And the Bulette has 6 drills, and they are the small retractable mechanical drills, because laser drills would make it more expensive than it needs to be. It is a level 10 hover vessel, as is the Mammoth is a level 8. But they both use a single use the tier 2 CPU extender, which means you can build it without having to look for the little CPU unique things, but they do use a little bit of neodymium and cobalt. Just a little. For the Mammoth. For the Bulette, it uses a little bit more, because I believe the drills themselves use cobalt. But on the interior of each of these, the interiors are nearly identical. The Mammoth is a little wider on the interior and a little taller, but on the interior you've got a cockpit and 2 passenger seats, as well as a constructor that pulls from the cargo box, the wood/ore gathering cargo box. You can access your fuel tanks, your oxygen stations, your food and armor, and then you've also got a little extra cargo space in the back. And with the Mammoth, as I said, it's exactly the same, except for it's just a little bit wider by 1 block on either side. And so it's a nice little hover vessel that's sort of a mini mobile base, but its primary use is resource gathering. The Bulette can actually also be used as a heavy underground transport. The Mammoth is, of course, your wood gatherer, and you can annihilate trees with the Mammoth by taking it out. And I mean, you can just go up to trees. I'm not going to get that one. I'm going to get these. And in less than a second, tree is gone. That's of course provided you hit it dead on in the center. Now, neither of these have RCSs, so they are strictly thruster controlled. So they're not, super turn on a dime hover vessels, which I've been trying to build things without RCSs if possible, and using RCSs only for things that absolutely require them. Primarily just to make it a little more, I suppose, realistic in the way that the vessels react and turn and everything. But as you can see, you can gather a lot of wood really quickly with this thing. And I don't think I can damage that. Maybe I'm too high. Oh, too close. That's what it was. But in any case, you can gather a lot of wood with this in a relatively short amount of time, And both the Bulette and the Mammoth have a decent speed of 33 to 35 meters per second, but they're of course not meant to be super fast, as you're supposed to land near where you're going to utilize them and then dock them. And they both, let's get into, let's see, yes, the hover bay on this is in the back, I forgot. So they both can fit into your capital vessels and bases. The Mammoth is just 1 square taller than the Bulette, and it can fit perfectly fine. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring the Mammoth over here and dock it here. The Mammoth and the Bulette are meant to be docked forward facing like this, because your access port is back here. So you can dock it facing the thing and be perfectly fine. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the Titan, this is the ARV Titan. It is, I did it a little bit on stream. It's not completely finished yet, and I'm still working on it. And it should be finished, I would say, in the next couple of weeks. But it is basically your end-game cover-all capital vessel. Now, the Bulette, the big thing about the Bulette is if you use the drill mode, which I love the drill mode. They've really enhanced the drill mode, so it's a lot easier to use hover vessels like this as transport and as resource gathering. And the Bulette, as you can see, can dig through just about anything really, really quickly. And you can use this to go down pretty much as far down as you want. You can even use it to go almost straight down if you want, although the drill mode is not really meant for going straight down. But as you rotate with this, you have to levitate higher, go up and down as you... Okay, I think that is the bottom of the world right there. So we're going to rotate flat. Okay. Yeah, that's the bottom. That's definitely the bottom of the world. So let's just press O and get some down and up. There we go. Oh, I need to reactivate this. Reactivate drill mode. I don't know why, but sometimes it stops drill mode and it can be really annoying, but for the most part, it's really, really good. And as you can see with the Bulette, you can just dig straight through the ground. There we go. Now we're back into our tunnel. And then, of course, you can land your ship underground if you need to and get out and do any resource gathering required. So yeah, this is the base, the very bottom level that you can possibly get to in this game. And just to show you how deep this is, and this is one of the lower biomes here. The savanna biome is one of the lowest in the game, on the planet, anyway, on the arid planet. But in any case, as you can see, the Bulette is a fantastic subterranean transport. And it actually works a lot better when you're actually in control mode like this than it does when you are like this. I don't know exactly why. Maybe you can control it a bit better or something, but... Oh, that was my fault. But as you can see, it moves only at like 1.8 underground, 1.8 meters per second, which is the standard for a hover vessel that's drilling through the ground. So let's lower, let's get up, and then slowly level out. There we go. Okay, so now we've got it going pretty much straight. But as you can see, it would be fantastic to utilize this to, say, get under an enemy base, or to, you know, drill access tunnels from one place to another. And of course, resource gathering. So when you get, and of course it's at over 200% with my, my cargo box. That's, yeah. I do have weight and volume on, but when you're in God mode, it doesn't utilize that. And for some reason, the ships don't utilize it when harvesting, but when placing it in there, sometimes it does. I don't know. It's weird. But only in creative mode. In survival mode, it works fine. But in any case, we're going to start heading back up to the surface now. And then we'll see just how far this tunnel I just dug was. It's not going to be like super far, but it will be far enough that, you know, you could utilize this to create access tunnels or assault tunnels or whatever you wanted, to try to assault an enemy base or create an underground transportation area. And in case you guys are wondering, to activate and deactivate the stationary drill mode, you press the left shift and then O. And as you'll see on the right side of the screen, the little drill mode thing activates and deactivates. So, all right, we are going to head back over here to the Titan. And as you can see, this tunnel wasn't that far. It went from here to here. Where was that? Or was it over this way? I think it was over this way. Yeah. To here. So from this base over to where we just were. So it's not that far, but it's still relatively quick underground compared to, say, the SOV. And the SOV takes a longer time. The SOV may be a little easier to utilize. Yeah, I know it's kind of wonky getting in here because those doors open as well, but okay. But there we go. So that is the Bulette and the Mammoth, our two new large Advanced Reconnaissance Vanguard hover vessels. Now, the hover vessels, you'll notice they each have these little connection points, I guess, on them. This one has 3 on the top and 2 on each side. This one has 2 on the top and 1 on each side. What those are indicating where it would be a decent, it would be easy for you to take out these 9 blocks and replace them with turrets. And replacing them with turrets would not affect your functionality of these at all. The Bulette would still be able to drill through the ground, and the Mammoth, of course, would still be able to harvest. But it just makes it, you know, easier so that, you know, and it's got like a little, like if you wanted to put one that doesn't retract, you can just go ka-tink on the outside and it'll work just fine. But in any case, that's it for the update with the Mammoth and the Bulette. I hope you guys enjoy using these. They will be on the workshop by the time this video posts, so check them out on the workshop. As always, I'm KnowItAllDM, and y'all have a good day now.